Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the FTOG.net server. This is part 6 of my Botania Spotlight, and today we're gonna set up a lot more mana generation than we had before. Can definitely get a lot more than what we're gonna do today, but it's the most that I have ever aimed for. To give you a heads up beforehand, what I'm aiming for is to fill 4 mana pools in about 15 minutes. That is my goal, what I want to reach. And for that, I did a lot of testing in a creative world. And this is the design I came up with. An empty box. I'm kidding. So what we're going to set up is here 2 big tanks with 4 hydrogenas. And then 4 setups where we're going to automatically feed lava to the Thermalilies. Now, if you have never made Thermalilies, recipe is quite easy. You just need Rune of Fire and a Rune of Earth for each one of them, and a few petals, like you see here. And it's not hard, you know. You just gotta wait out the runes, but it's not too bad. And we only needed 16 of this, and that's the reason why I set the Hydrogenas up last time in the ME system, is because I knew I needed so many. So I just had the ME system make those for me. So that was really convenient. Now, besides that, I want to fill approximately 4 mana pools within 15 minutes. You know, give or take a little bit. Is that I want to have some backlog. I want to have a serious mana storage set up. So, not sure exactly how we're gonna do it. Maybe with sparks or something later on. But I just want to have a storage of mana. And the easiest way of what I could think of is to use a mana spreader, distributor, and mana pool tower. Okay, and I'm just gonna set this up. I'm gonna always go through about 1 setup of what we're doing, and then I always build the rest off camera so I can take more time explaining how everything works. I think that's gonna make more sense. Now let me just align. Okay, so now how this works is there's 4 mana pools. And I have this glass column in the middle because it's going to make it easier for me to place all the things. And on one corner, we're going to have a mana distributor, and on the other corner. This is going to be the main feed on this side and the main feed input on this side. So this one is going to handle these 2 pools, and this one is going to handle these 2 pools. Now, you might ask, why not just put a distributor in the middle? Because you'll see here in a second why, with the way I set it up. And then in these other opposite corners, I always want to have a spreader pointing up, and the same here. Now, this one is going to get the mana out of these 2 pools and send it upwards to the next mana distributor. And the same on this corner. And then we're going to have another mana spreader here, and I'm going to point them upwards in a second once I have something to point against them. And so on, and the next level. So you guys get the idea. You always alternate. And there is no reason to have a gap between them. You could set them directly down, so I could even double this. But I wanted to have the gap in case I want to do the... Oops, this is one too low. In case I want to use the sparks. Not sure exactly how we're going to do that yet. But for now, you know, the pools, this is all just going to set it up. And then once the first 4 are filled up there, then the second row is going to fill, and the third, and so on. So let me go ahead and build this up to the end here. I made sure that all these mana spreaders are always pointing into the distributor above. Easiest way to see is, don't forget, if you hold your Wand of the Forest, that way you can see the flow of all the mana bursts. And that's what it looks from this side. So again, the bottom fills, and then you can see it always just pushes it up 1, 1, 1. And then up here in the end, of course, we don't need any spreaders anymore because these pools are filling that way. So now from here, what I want to do next is fill these 2 tanks with water. Because I always recommend that you fill the tanks with water first, because as soon as you start placing the hydrogenas, you know, they're going to start sucking up the water. And then it's sometimes a little hard catching up if you have... what is that? 28 on each side? Yeah, 28 Hydrogena's going crazy on each one of these towers. And on the bottom, I chose this blue N-type block. I think that looks cool underneath the water. And let me do the same over here. Okay, now the next part is that we're going to need a mana spreader on each one of these sides here. And you want to make sure this is in the middle. This has 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want to come down 1, 2, 3 right there in the middle. So now there's 3 down and 3 up. And we're going to do this on all 4 of these sides. Yep, that's the right height. It's a little hard with this glass to see, but it's not too bad. All right, so now the problem is that when you check this here real quick, when I point this spreader to this distributor, it doesn't get through the glass. It gets hung up. Now you could use covers or something, but what I simply came up with was going to put a spreader right there, pointing that into this distributor, and then point this spreader. Oops, I gotta put this first. Put a mana pool right there. Point this spreader to this mana pool. What just happened? You point there, and you point here. What's happening, huh? Move. And this spreader, we point here. So that's just an extra step, but I don't think that this is going to be an issue. And if these are feeding this one too fast and this one can keep up with, then we're just going to make use of lenses. That's what they're there for. And let's put one more here. Again, point it into this one and put that on top. In case you're wondering, why don't you just go from spreader into spreader? You guys didn't see any of the previous episodes. When you go from spreader into spreader, you lose a little bit of mana. And if you put a mana pool first and then suck it out from that, there's no mana loss. So now we got those guys going. Now, the next thing I want to set up is I'm setting up all the spreaders first. It's just, I found it easier that way, okay? And I'm going to put 2 right there because these Thermalilies are producing an insane amount of mana that I want to make sure they can keep up with. 4 of them, one of these spreaders was not able to keep up. And again, point them like this. And I have them on these front edges because the distance is the shortest. That should help getting to the mana spreader, mana distributor the fastest. Man, I wonder how many times I'm going to notice when I edit the video how often I missed up spreader and distributor. But I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. Alright, let's point these guys to the distributor. And these 2 guys. Alright, so now this is our spreader network. It's actually not that complicated. And that's it. So now what's next is we need to set up, let's set up these flowers first. I want to set them up first because then it also gets brighter down here. You don't need any torches down here. The torches I had were just for me to remember where I need to place the first blocks. Alright, and these Thermalilies work the same way than the Hydrogenas. They need to be on the same level than the fluid block, in this case the lava, so they can absorb it. And that's it. Now we get all 16 here. Now how do we get the lava in here, you might ask? There's multiple ways. You could do with blood magic, with the Ritual of the Nether. Think there is a way with... No, we can't do it with Applied Energistics because we don't have any fluid discs and stuff, but the way I chose is with the fountain from Mind Factory Reloaded. It's quite simple to make. It's really nothing fancy, and they will simply place a fluid blood where they are above it, 1 block above. So that's why we're putting these into the holes right there. So they are going to be responsible of providing these guys with, get down there, with lava. And I decided to simply, I'm not making use of my void age, my lava age anymore, because I got big reactor and all kinds of stuff going, so I don't need the lava anymore, but I still have it. So instead of using a like a lava fabricator, which you could do that just runs on power, I'm going to simply just use the endothermic pump and continue using that. And that's what this basement is for. So, and for that, I'm also going to power these guys with lava. So everything down here is going to run on lava, which is fine because we got endless of it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my wrench out. to make this easier. And all right, what do we start with this? Let's start with right there. Let's run the power. This should be the middle. Yes. Let me just run this over here. And I messed up one. Bam. And then here. And I messed up a few. I was clicking too fast. Alright, let's get this out of here. And this one is not in the middle. It needs to be in the middle. It's gonna come down. Bada bing. One more. And then over. And to this way. And to that way. And right here we're gonna place the 5 magmatics. And just because I like doing this, I'm just setting them to output. Just to make sure they're not messing this up. And these guys I'm all setting to input. There's no need to do that, but I just like the visual part that whenever you look at one of these bundles right there, when you have multiples, it's just nice that you can easily identify where is stuff going. Alright, and now we still need to run the fluid real quick. And this one is going to come all the way down to here. And connect to them also. And bada bing. Almost there. Now the last part I'm going to do at the very end. But I can show you guys already. I'm going to put the tank right there. And they're not going yet because as soon as I turn this on, the engines start and these guys are going to spit out lava. And I don't want that yet. But I'm going to set this guy to extract. You don't need to set this to auto if you use the dial over here to have it spit out lava. And this guy is going in, and in. And how we're doing up there, I also have to set these guys to in. Alright, and 2 more. And then we are done down here with the non-Botania stuff until we turn it on. And then it's as simple as just flipping that dial. Okay, so now we got power and we got these guys ready to be supplied with lava. Okay, now the next part is that I want to put the 8 lenses on here. Because, like I said, these guys had real trouble in my testing setup to keep up with the mana going to this guy. Which tells me that when this had some time to run, I believe that I will also need lenses going up. This distance is shorter, so they are by nature going to be much faster than these 2 guys, probably. But because I have 2 coming in here and 2 there, so that's 4, plus the Hydrogenas, these might here fill up. So I don't want to have any backlog. I want to make sure that I get the mana up faster than I can produce it. But we'll tweak this when we have it all set up. And these 4. Alright, so this guy, these are all pointing to the right place and they got their lenses. Now comes the tricky part, and that's what I'm going to do here first. I'm going to make sure that these front 2, so these right there are always going to be pointed to this spreader, and the 2 further away to this one. I just want to make sure that they're all assigned to the ones I want them to go. Whoops. Like that. You are pointing up there, yes. And you are pointing to the right one, and you are not. Now you are, and you are. Okay, let me do the same thing on the other side. Alright, all the Thermalilies are assigned to the correct mana spreaders. All the mana spreaders are pointing where they're supposed to. And now is where the boring part starts, and that is setting up all of these guys. Hopefully, I don't have to assign too many. But I want to make sure now that, you know, these are all pointing. This column points to this one, and that column is pointing to that one. So I'm just going to go here through one by one and make sure that these are all... I know it always takes the nearest one, but sometimes they're a little bit funky. I can see if this one, so let me just make sure it is assigned to that one. Okay, so these are right. And these in here are most likely going to hook up to some of them over there. So I am going to have to set up most of these guys. Alright, so... And I'm just going to, instead of just messing around, I'm just going to, you know, point them real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and go around on all the other 6 columns that are still left and do the same thing. All done with the Hydrogenas also. That is a lot of block updates right here. Holy shnikes. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? How we doing on these guys? Can they keep up easily? Okay, but it fills quite fast. I like it. We probably already have a little bit of mana up here. Yeah. Just from the Hydrogenas. Not a lot, but I just set them up, so I'm okay with it. So, all the other parts are gone. I counted right. I'm really happy about that. And now it is time to turn on all these Thermalilies. And then the real mana production start. I think that I could probably get rid of the Hydrogenas, but I just wanted to set up 2 big towers. And here goes. Powered. So the powered, they are gonna power these 4 fountains. And I'm pretty sure they all have lava already. Yep. Oops. And you see that they're still eating them. Let's see, once they're all full. That might be 1, 2, 3, 4. I see the particles in all 4 now. These slight shimmering particles above them. And that means they now have. So now this is gonna sit here until the first one runs out, and that's it. And now let's check here. Oh boy. This one can keep up. Why can't you keep up? Are you not shooting, buddy? I see you shooting. Are they not all pointing to the right one? This is to that and that. And you go to this one? Uh-huh. We got one. Man, I double checked them all. At least I found it right away. So that's good. So, yeah. So now with 2 enter lenses, these guys can keep up. Even though I don't see them generating any mana. I had that earlier. I'm wondering if, there's just so much going on now. No? Why aren't you? Well, after consulting the Lexica Botania, it told me what the problem is. There was no display bug, nothing. It says here that at a spurt when it consumes lava, doing this heats up the flower and it'll need some time to cool down before it can begin a new cycle. So these are made for bursts. I had no idea. I'm a little sad about this now, but you guys see down here, I removed all these setups, and down in the basement everything is gone again. Because, well, we're gonna go with endoflames. And I did set up one side just to get an idea if I can set it up this way. So there is right now 20 endoflames over here. And I'm gonna set up the same thing over here with you guys. So you guys can see how I set it up. And I'm not gonna cut out the Thermalily stuff. I think it's okay to show that something doesn't work out the way I like it. Because maybe you guys can learn from it also. So the first thing I'm going to do is, there's 4 pressure plates. And instead of doing the redstone trail and all that stuff, I decided to go with rednet cable. So it's a lot easier to set up. And we're using some other mods items today. So I think that is okay to use here. And I want to set these up first so I can actually lock it all down. Otherwise, when I put the charcoal ender chests on top, it will actually right away start. So, open crate directly up here with a hopper on top. I'm not going to use anything fancy. And then get up here. And then on top of that, I got these ender chests made that are right now filling with charcoal. I have it set up in my ME system to start producing charcoal if there's less than 1,000. So we should never run out, because we have a tree farm that is endless. And oh yeah, there's one more thing I want to do here, but let me wrench these all first. You gotta go 1, 2, 3. I don't need to do this, but just like with the item conduits and so on and so on. I'm a knucklehead, see? I'm already derping. I gotta go across here real quick and put in a master switch. So during the building and so on, I can actually just set this on, and now all the hoppers are locked. And now I can pick all this up again. And the cool thing is it always just puts one charcoal in there, because it locks it so fast, these hoppers with the red net cable, that this works really nice. So I can put these back in here. You come here, buddy. I don't want you laying around. Initially I said that I didn't tell you guys, but that was my thinking is, you know, that I didn't want stuff laying around because, well, if the, whoops, don't want that. Once the mana pools are full, you know, these items are gonna sit down here and then eventually, is this white now? No, this is gray. You know, they're gonna despawn, but hey, if I have unlimited charcoal, what do I care? So that's what we're gonna do, and let me just go around and disconnect all these on the walls. This doesn't happen with vanilla blocks and stuff, but apparently the living wood, I don't know what the point is. You can't really get a redstone signal in there, but this is on if I stop misclicking. Ah, come on. Really? Sorry. Almost done with this. And then we just gotta place the plants, and then we can go. Let me disconnect this. This is very exciting, guys, I know, but I want to get it done here so it's nicely set up. And you gone. I got to stop clicking too many times. And I don't need the one on the ender chest or on this ender chest. So only the hopper and the pressure plate are connected. Okay, now they're all wrenched the way I like them. And we're done with the redstone setup. So there's now everything is locked up. I think there's one in here. Let me take that out. And I got these master switches. And now all we gotta do is place. I actually taught the ME system to make these also. Well, because I needed 40, well, 37 because we had 3. But that was still a lot of stuff to do. So now I think that if we don't have fast mana production now, I give up. No, I won't. And you guys see I pointed these at the wall because I didn't want this to fill without actually doing something. But what I'm actually going to do here is point this back here. And when I'm about to start, I'm actually going to break all the mana pools on top. Oh, I forgot. We still need to set up spreaders. One there. One there. I wanted to have them in front, but I can't get by this corner otherwise. And to keep it symmetrical, I just set it up this way. And then like before, this one can make it, it's this one that was almost the issue. But it can make it by here. See, when I hover over it, it says mana distributor. So it is connected to that. And this guy over here. And then just like last time, I need to go around and bind all the flowers to the correct mana spreader. So, come on. So, 5 go into this. And these 5 go into the next one. And the rest over there the same way. Let's do the last double check over here. Alright, they all seem to be going to the right one. Okay, and now let's slap on the mana lenses again. Because these guys are going to produce a lot of mana. We've seen that before. And there's no cooldown time. So, I'd say... Hold on a second. I pointed these two back here, right? You're pointing to the mana pool, yes? And I gotta do the same over here real quick. Bam, yes. And you going over there. Alright, and now I'm gonna go upstairs. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and break these real quick and replace them. Just for a second, I want to get that, like I said, you know, 4 mana pools in 15 minutes. Approximately, that's my goal. I want to get to that. I think that's going to be really awesome. So now they're starting. Now let's go down here. The magnet is off, but I'm still going to fly up. So once I flip this one now, there's 4 charcoal that fell down. They're getting absorbed. The next 4, and so on. And I'm going to flip this one over here to get this going. Now let's have a quick glance. It's been a few minutes. This is definitely faster than it was before. Alright guys, I tell you what. I'm gonna go now and wait 15 minutes. And then we'll come back. and see how full these mana pools are. It's been about 30 minutes now, actually. I did keep my eye on it, and we're doing good on the mana, but of course it's not, 4 mana pools in 15 minutes like I wanted. But I've added a lot of stuff. I added 6 more endoflames in over here, there, and there, so another 24. So now we got 64 endoflames going, and they're all reaching. And I changed these right here. I put on phantom lenses, so they go directly to the distributor here. War Power actually came over and he's like, it would look nicer if this wasn't right there, and he's totally right. So I added these phantom lenses so they can go through this stuff and hit this directly. So now it looks a lot cooler from up here also. And you guys see this? I added just potency lenses to every spreader going up. Because check out how much mana we got down here. It can't keep up. So it seems that... I don't know how it works. It seems that the spreaders always... I don't know how, honestly. This would be south, and over here it would be north. So I don't know if they're favoring, north and south pools. That's why these are more drained. Or if these guys favor east and west to fill them. I don't know how that works, why it's not more even. And we're also, up here, we're now keeping up more. But the thing is that I want to set up the sparks now. I think that will help it a lot. And the way I figured we're gonna do this, we're always gonna have the mana spreaders, okay? Because when the 4 all the way on the top are full, okay, and this row and this row, let's say, are almost drained, well, we're never gonna have any mana going there. That's why we're gonna have to keep the spreaders always. But I think with the sparks, we're gonna be able to really speed up the 4 on the top. So we're just gonna do this now. We're gonna put a spark on this pool. Where'd it go? Did it place it? There we go. So on each one of them. And it's unbelievable, isn't it, how bright it is down in here? It's just these flowers that make all this light. It's nuts. So another one here, which for right now it's not really needed, but hey, they're ready for later when they're also full. And 4 more right here. I'm having so much fun with this project, guys. It's unbelievable. And then one right there. It's gonna be all kinds of weird in the glass, but hey, it works. 4, and I should have 9 left. Yes. Alright, so now we got the ones on the bottom, and they're all just gonna be plain sparks. And then on these ones up here, it's kind of weird how they're sticking into the pool, isn't it? And there and there. Alright, so there's those 4. And I'm going to make all the ones on the bottom recessive. Where's my elevator? I should have done that at the same token, but oh well. It's gonna be probably quite hard to hit. Alright, all 16 of these I'm gonna make recessive. Now, it was a little hard getting to all these sparks. It still is hard. The ones that were right underneath this glass here. These right here seem to be tripping up and down a little bit. But I took the glass off on most of it. And I'm not gonna put that back. Can I hit you somehow, please? Alright, I have to take this off for the time being. And now I can click it, and I can click you. And one more, and then we got them all. Why did I do that? Let's see. No, can't get it. Also gotta fly it down here. Oh, one more down. It's this one. Okay. It's getting a little dizzying with all this light and sparks and so, but now I can close it off. And I'm just gonna leave it open underneath. I think that is fine. As long as I can fall in, I'm good with it. Okay, so now these are full. I mean, instantly. You got 16 recessive down there. That's absolutely nuts. And even this one is full now because it's sending up the mana now. Now we're starting to get the excess stuff. And you know what? Let's get these 2 pylons. Hello? Anybody there? What's... Oh, I already have them on me. Never mind. Okay, am I lagging like super hard right now or something? Might be this Botania's business here getting to me. Well, let's put this guy on here, this guy on here. Let's put a spark on there. And a spark on there. And it takes the ones from below. I'm still going to make these two dominant. So it should... Right, display error. Why are you filling? This one is full? What's going on? Why aren't you sending? This is weird how they're sticking out underneath. They're not actually there. Maybe a relog will fix that. Right, these are all full. Why are you not filling, my friend? I just wanted to let you guys know that this was a bug. This dominant all of a sudden popped in my inventory. I took down the spark again. And it's probably... No, and I put it back up here and instantly got mana from over there. And then let's put the dominant on there. There's something happening. Alright, now it's full. So there was just... I don't know, you guys remember last episode also we had some issues with the augments on the sparks. But I think it is resolved now. These pools are full. And these four are all full. Or almost. And they should be full, you know, very shortly once we're done with the bottom here. Alright, it's the next day now. Last night you guys might have been able to tell in my voice before this cut. I recorded until very late and too late. I needed to get some sleep. It's the next day now. And all these mana pools were full a minute ago. You guys see I'm just made 24 Terra Steel. And we still have full mana pools here, and these are half full. And I wanted to make the last two on camera, just so you guys can see how fast this is. This is nuts. Watch. Done. This is the fastest I have ever made Terra Steel. Uh-oh. I was too close. Dang it. Oh. Get out of here. I hate that. Anyway, so now I made 26 Terra Steel because I want to put this mana to work. This obviously for Terra Steel. I set up the Botanical Brewery here and Runic Altar over there. Because the one on the inside I really only want to use for automation. It's so cramped. So here I can make other runes and so on. 2 Elfin Mana Spreaders, both with the... which one is this again? I can never remember. Potency, Velocity. So they should get mana super fast if we make something. And I want to make some armor today. And also a weapon. I gotta get this stuff out here real quick. This guy. Don't have a regular crafting table anymore. That doesn't matter. The first thing is I want to make a Terra Blade. The Terra Blade is... I don't think the best weapon... but at least the second best weapon from Botania. When you just hit like this, you guys see there's a mana burst coming, so it's also a ranged weapon. Works really well, and it does base already 7 attack damage, which isn't that much, but I think that you also get this beam every time you attack. So that adds another, I don't know how many, 5. Let's see if it tells us in the book. I'll show you guys afterwards. I don't want to get away from this page now. And I want to make Terra Steel armor. Now we are completely jumping over the Elementium armor, which we're still gonna make. But for right now, I just want to make this armor right now because it is the best Botania armor as far as I know. And I would like to kill the Guardian of Gaia next episode, so I want to get prepared. So we got the whole Terra Steel set. And it gives you a 20% mana cost reduction. And we are going to enchant this with Botania. And for that, I prepared this area over here. And you guys see here, you can enchant with this setup right there. And I'm just going to walk you guys through it. If you want to read the book, you can always do that. It explains it all very well in there. But you need, I believe this is 17 obsidian. Yes, 16, and the one in the middle is 17. And just like that, you need to make an obsidian layout like this. And then you need to place 6 mana pylons with flowers underneath. So that one is 1, 2, 3 in the lengthwise. So let me get, oops, the pylons. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's one. 1, 2, 3. There's another one, and on each one of them, whoops, on top of it, we need to put a mana pylon like this, and right there. And then I believe the next ones are like right there, if I'm not mistaken. But let me double check in the book. It's one back, yes. 1, 2, 3, one back. And so this takes up quite a lot of space, but it is very worth it. It's really, I think, the coolest way to enchant, because you don't use the books. You can tell it what to enchant. It goes by all the vanilla basics, so you cannot enchant, for example, sharpness and smite on a sword. It will only take one of the two. But you always get the books back. And then we need, oops, I need 4 more flowers. I forgot. Flower, let me get 4 more. There we go. And these go right here in the middle in these 4 spots. And then I will place a lapis lazuli block. And then watch, once I hit this with the one of the forest, bam, it turns into this block. And that's a mana enchanter. And how it works is, let me turn off my magnet. You select the item you want to enchant. Let me see here. The first one I want to do is the sword. I'm going to put Sharpness 5 and Reaper 5 on it. The Reaper 5 is from Draconic Evolution to get souls from mobs. You have a chance of doing that when you kill them. And what you do is you right-click the item that you want to enchant, and it sits on top of here. And then you simply toss the books here on anywhere in the middle. So Sharpness 5 and Reaper 5. And then you... Oops, we forgot one more thing. Sorry about that. I need to put a spark here. Come on, place the spark. Why can't I place you? There we go. Shift right-click. That's what did it. Because when you just right-click, you actually put the item. So now we got a spark, so we can get the mana. And now I'll whack this once with the right-click. You hear it countdown. Mana comes. You get this cool animation. And it is done. And then you can pick up the books again. So you can reuse them as many times as you want. And there it is. Now we got Sharpness 5 and Reaper 5 on our sword and 13.25 attack damage. And I'm going to do all the armor the same with just protection. Besides the helmet, I'm going to also give Aqua Affinity so I can mine quicker underground. Or underwater, I should say, sorry. Now let me take the sword off here and whack this guy again. And I'm going to go ahead and enchant the chest, the legs, and the Terra Steel boots with only protection 5. I got the protection 5 by... Wait a second. Protection 4. I made sharpness 5. I'm getting this mixed up. Protection 4. There is no protection 5. I'm just going to enchant the same thing on the chest, legs, and boots. And then we'll go enchant also the Terra Steel pickaxe. Alright. Check it out. We look cool, isn't it? I like this color. This Terra Steel. So we got protection 5 on F4 on all of them, plus the Aqua Affinity on the helmet. And we got the sword enchanted, and now we're going to enchant the Terra Shatter. And the old stuff is retired right here. This was my first set on sword and tools. This one right here, and this is what I wear whenever I do tech and stuff. Which we have never done together. That's gonna be probably in another episode, but it's just a regular flux armor. It's nothing special. So there's another thing is I want to do here, and that is there's a mana pool right here, a new one, and I'm gonna put a spark on this guy, and yes, and the dominant, which I don't really need, but I want to make sure that this mana pool is not used by anything else, meaning that right, okay. You guys just saw the stream coming up and over. How this works is when you have a dominant augment on a spark, it will never suck mana directly from a recessive. Recessive will only give 2 sparks without anything, and dominant will only take mana from sparks without anything. So the mana will always go up to these guys first and then come over here, or go over to the ones at the portal. This spark right there and the one over at the enchanter will take mana from everything, I believe. Also the recessive ones. But what I wanted this guy for is a new mana toy. I want to retire our mana tablet. Well, you know, we got the sword, this pick is gonna need a lot, and so on. It would be nice to have a more steady stream of mana available, and we can use a mana mirror for that. Recipe right there, very easy to make. And I actually never checked if there's an upgrade for that. I don't think there is. Now, I have never had a mana mirror, but you can tie it to a mana pool, and that's this one right there I want to tie it to. So I don't know if I just need to right click. No. Shift right click. Yes. So now it is tied to this mana pool. So now instead of using the mana from the tablet, I can put this away completely. I can just have the mana mirror in my inventory, you know, and I can still use, you guys see, I'm using mana because I'm shooting these mana bursts, and it's taking it directly from this mana pool, no matter where I'm at, because this area is chunk loaded. You guys ever seen the stars here? Warpower brought over one of these Ender star generators. I think it's really neat. Anyway, so now I want to last but not least enchant our pick. And then we are going to drain the heck out of the mana pools that we have. I want to see what's up with that. So let's put this in here, and I'm going to enchant Efficiency 5 and Silk Touch on it. I'm standing here with my magnet on. I want it. No, it's not on. Never mind. That's good. Let's enchant this guy also. Watch the mana come over so fast. Oh, it's so awesome. Alright, and there's our Tether Shatter with Efficiency 5 and Silk Touch 1. In case you don't know how to get an Efficiency 5 book is, you combine 2 Efficiency 4 books in an anvil, and that makes you an Efficiency 5. And I'm just putting these guys back in here. This is an Enchanter, Auto-Enchanter, Disenchanter setup that we all use here on the server. Everybody brings over stuff and books, and we just let this enchant all with Mob Essence. So, now, what would be cool is to get this guy higher. Okay, we're at B rank. I don't know how close we are to A, but you know what? We're going to find out. I'm going to toss this guy on here as the last act today. And just let... Oop, is this set right? Accepting, sparing mana to items. So now this should go really crazy here. This pool should never get empty until all the other pools are empty. And I'm not worried because once all these are empty and I stop them... Oh, we never opened this guy. Let's open our portal to Alfheim again. No reason to have this off. I love the way this looks. So now, I think we got a really nice setup for whatever else Botania throws at us. We have really good mana generation. It's not quite 4 every 15 minutes, but it is darn close, I think. And you guys can see I could probably get rid of the Hydrogenas and just make more endoflame setups on this side and this side, and that would probably be faster because these guys generate mana a lot faster than Hydrogenas. And is this still going? I thought that this is gonna drain a lot faster, but the mana is still coming over. And you guys can see now, the mana comes up first and then it comes over. I really am. I'm very happy about the setup, and I'm gonna let this guy go. And that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you guys think about the setup, or if you have made any similar setups or other crazy mana setups. Go ahead and post some screenshots. Let us know about it. I'd love to see them. And, well, I'll catch you guys in the next episode when we're gonna fight a Gaia boss and make some more cool armor and toys. Alright? Take it easy. Take care. Stay safe. And bye-bye.